Hello everyone, this is Mirza Naeem. In this video lecture, we are going to revise 4th unit from Environmental Engineering. We'll try to cover all the concepts. Okay, let's see. So we all know that 4th unit is all about sanitary engineering. So before going into the concepts, we'll see some common terms used in this unit. Okay, the first one is refuse. This is the most general term to indicate waste, which includes all the rejects, left out, worthless. It consists of sewage, sewage, everything. Next we have garbage. It is a dry refuse, includes waste papers, sweeping from streets and markets, vegetable peelings, etc. Right, one thing you have to remember, quantity of garbage per head per day amounts to be 0.14 to 0.24 kgs. This is for Indian conditions. That means on an average, per capita per person, they will generate 14.14 to 0.24 kgs. Next we have rubbish, which is nothing but the solid waste from residents, offices, other buildings, broken furniture, which includes paper, rags, includes all the solid waste. Next we have the most important one, that is sewage. It is a discharge from bathrooms, okay, which is a waste coming from our bathrooms, kitchens and wash basins. It does not include discharge from lavatories, hospitals, operation theaters. Right, this sewage consists of high amount of organic matter. Right, next we have sewage. It is a mix of waste of various types, such as industrial, public or residence, which also includes sewage water and foul discharges from water closet, urinals, hospitals, etc. So sewage consists of sewage, human waste, urinals, etc. Next term we have stormwater. It's a very common term. It is a surface runoff obtained during or after the rainfall. Right? So why we are talking about a stormwater in this unit? Just because it doesn't have a foul or as a sewage smell, but hence it is carried in the open drains, right, where this sewage is also going. Those we call as sewers, right? Those are the pipelines in which both sewage plus stormwater will carry. Okay, so that's why we have a stormwater estimation in this unit. Next we have sanitary sewage, domestic sewage. Right, so sanitary sewage is nothing but the sewage obtained from the residential buildings, industrial effluents. Right, in domestic sewage it consists of urinals from bathrooms, kitchens and all the domestic houses, offices, institutions, etc. Right, next we have sewer. Just now I mentioned it is nothing but the underground drain through which sewage is conveyed are known as sewers. In common terms, it is just like a pipeline which carries this sewage. Now we are coming to the topic syllabus from JN to H, that is characteristic of sewage. So it is very important to know the characteristics of sewage for an effective economical waste management program. So if you know the characteristics of sewage, you can plan economically, right? And you can choose treatment method. So it's very important to know the characteristic, right? Okay, so the important characteristics of sewage. So what are the important characteristics of sewage so that we can remember? So my dear friends, so this is an important topic. Let me tell you. The first characteristic is temperature. So let me zoom it. Yeah. The first one is temperature. So in general, under Indian conditions, the temperature of the raw water is observed to be between 15 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius at various places in different seasons. That means the range will be 15 to 35 degrees, right? It will varies according to the place and conditions of the country, okay, any nation. Okay, next we have pH. Friends, you have to remember this, the pH of fresh sewage, right? You produced from kitchen or washing your clothes, then the waste which is nothing but sewage, the fresh sewage ranges from 5.5 to 8. So what is the range? What is the range? 5.5 to 8. So we all know that pH will range from 1 to 14. Okay, the fresh sewage ranges from 5.5 to 8. If it is less than 7, it will be acidic. If it is more than 7, it will be the basic nature. Next we have color and odor. The fresh domestic sewage has slightly soapy and cloudy appearance depending upon its concentration, right? So if you use some detergents or shampoos, it will be slightly cloudy, right? As well as soapy. Okay, it will depend upon the concentration. As time passes, the sewage become darken. Okay, it will become dark in color, and obviously it will have a foul smell due to some microbial activities. So the bacteria will start producing, so it will have a bad smell. Next, solids. So let me tell you, we are talking about the characteristics of sewage. Please be on track. Okay, so again I will revise. First one we have temperature, pH, color. Now we are seeing solids. Sewage generally consists of 0.5% solids and the remaining will be liquid, that is water or wastewater, right? Then chlorides. Concentration of chlorides in sewage is greater than the normal chloride content of water supply. So what it mean? So normal water supply, drinking water which is supplied to our houses, the amount of concentration is greater in sewage as compared to the water coming as a fresh water for drinking purpose. Okay, so that is a chloride concentration in sewage. Okay, remember, I will repeat it again. Sewage, the chlorides in sewage is greater than the normal chlorides contained or present in water supply. Okay, the chloride concentration is excess than the water supplied can be used as an index of the strength of sewage. So this is the strength of sewage. Okay, this is one of the characteristic of sewage. Then we have organic matter. As we all know that sewage is mostly coming from our houses, industries, institutes. So it consists of more amount of organic matter, right? The organic components present in sewage are of particular interest for environment or environmental engineering. It is our special concern. Okay, we are very interested in that. A large variety of microorganisms that may be present in sewage or in the receiving water. Okay, next we have dissolved oxygen. So water consists of H2O. So we'll see the amount of dissolved oxygen present in the sewage. So let's say if wastewater that has DO, that is nothing but dissolved oxygen, is nothing but called as aerobic or fresh. The solubility of oxygen in fresh water ranges from 14.6 milligram per liter at 0 degrees, right? That is the temperature, to about 7 mg per liter, that is at 35 degrees Celsius at 1 atm atmospheric pressure. So one thing you have to remember, the fresh water, okay, the solubility of oxygen in fresh water ranges from 14.6 mg per liter at 0 degrees, okay, to about 7 mg per liter at 135 and also at 1 atmospheric pressure. So this is characteristics of sewage. Then decomposition of sewage. The next topic is decomposition of sewage. The organic matter in sewage consists of urine from and also it consists of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, oils, soaps, etc. All these terms indicates the organic matter. These are normally composed of a combination of what? Combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, right? Together with nitrogen in some cases. Not in all cases, in some cases nitrogen is also a part of this combination. I hope you are getting me. So the decomposition of sewage depending upon the types of bacteria. Okay, so how it will decompose? It depends upon the type of bacteria. Okay, so there are mainly two types of bacteria, and we can say that aerobic decomposition, also known as aerobic oxidation. Then we have anaerobic decomposition, or also known as putrefaction. Next we'll see some a quick definition of aerobic decomposition, right? We all know that aerobic bacteria, in the presence of air or in the presence of oxygen which is available in sewage in the dissolved form. So what will do, this bacteria will sustain and they will start dissolving or digesting this organic matter in the presence of oxygen. Okay, what happens is the organic matter is broken up and oxidized. Okay, you can use digest or oxidized to form stable and non-objectable end product, right? So aerobic bacteria will help in that. Now anaerobic bacteria or anaerobic decomposition, we'll see anaerobic decomposition is caused by anaerobic bacteria as well as facultative bacteria. So it's a combination of aerobic and anaerobic, right? Operates the anaerobic activity. So what it will do, anaerobic bacteria survives by extracting and consuming bonded molecular oxygen present in the oxygen. Okay, here anaerobic bacteria survives by consuming or by eating or by extracting the bonded molecular present in the oxygen. Okay, and mineral substance such as nitrates, sulfates, etc. This will help the anaerobic bacteria to decompose the matter, to decompose the sewage. Okay, these are the two main reasons for decomposition of sewage. Let me focus on design of sewage. So let me tell you, it's just like a normal water supply pipeline, but there is a difference. So what is the difference, sir? So sewage is nothing but an hydraulic structure, okay, of sewers and drains, which means finding out their section and gradient. Okay, so design is nothing but we are finding the section and also gradient. In generally, wait a minute, yeah, okay, yeah. So why it is different from normal water supply pipes? Because this sewage contains particles, right, in suspension, the heavier of which may settle down in the bottom of the sewers. In normal water supply pipes, there are minute particles, minute silt, which can flow through velocity. But here in this sewers, what happens is heavier particles, heavier matter will settle down in the bottom of sewers. And what happens to it? When the flow velocity reduces, it will result in clogging of sewers. That means it will block the sewer. This is why it is different from normal water supply pipes. To avoid this silting of sewage, right, or silting of sewers, it is necessary that the sewer pipe is laid as such a gradient as to generate self-cleaning velocity. So important term is self-cleaning velocity. So we have to